Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, the 25th of April. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and as you can see, well, yesterday, stroke Sunday evening, we gapped up in price. Since then, we've sat there with the gap below us, and the gap seems to be being filled up with buy orders by the looks of things. There's a significant amount of buy orders starting to appear around about the 108.20 particularly, but even above that into the 108.40 1.08, I should say, 40 area. So there is a sort of a build up of buy orders underneath that, whether they're buy orders for shorts that are in place or just buy orders because there's a belief that this gap's not going to be filled. We'll see. But for now, the news seems relatively positive from the Sunday's election, and the market does look like, well, perhaps it will push on up further towards the daily 500. Okay, looking at the lower time frames then, at 4 hourly, we can see this wedge building up here, mate, and it just could be a consolidation phase before we do see a shove on up. But as I say, it's unusual not to fill the gap, but perhaps the gap may take a few days to get filled on this occasion, or longer. Looking at cable, we should remember, I should say, on Thursday, of course, we've got the Draghi speaking CECB meeting, so may change things. Looking at cable, daily wise, it too's held up. It's less of a gap here. Well, nothing of a gap here, and it's just followed the pace really on a slower basis. Got the weekly pivot still to be touched below as a possibility at some point. Again, it's just holding up. It's in a very tight range. It makes the intraday trading of it very difficult. I say very difficult. It can be traded, but it's pretty range bound. It's been range bound for a number of days here now, actually since last Tuesday. So Wednesday it looked like it was going to push higher and failed. Thursday it looked like it was going to push higher and failed, and then tried again and failed. Friday, and then Monday here we saw the same thing happen again. Yesterday pushed up in the morning, failed. It is really struggling here at the moment. Well, it could push back up again, of course, towards that sort of descending trend line coming up there. It could push back towards that at some point this morning, that's for sure. Again, a failure. Well, there seems to be quite a bit of significant support around this 127.70 sort of area in that region. There certainly seems to be demand at that level. Okay, so consolidation for the pound there as well at the moment. Possible hint of the upside this morning. Dollar yen. Let's get the dollar yen on here. So dollar yen, that two gaps upwards now. It's pushing up at the moment, looking towards that monthly pivot still potentially. There's sort of risk on again, risk off again at the moment. Possibly there's more and more concerns about North Korea, and we're seeing this tension continue to build in that Asian sector. At the moment, it's pushing up towards, as I say, back towards that monthly pivot, which is not touched, but looks like unlikely-ish. But there is that potential for it to push up further through this R2. Looking at shorter time frame, well, it's just looks like it's in a reasonable hourly trend at the moment to the upside. There's doesn't seem to be anything initially resistance-wise. Possibly yesterday's highs at some point may come in to slow things down here, but at the moment it's looking pretty much it's in the previous trend almost. The trend was sliding upwards anyway. If you come back to the dailies, it was already pushing up anyway, and okay, it hasn't filled the gap at the moment, and that may be filled at some point, but it is certainly pushing at the moment to the upside, so more bullish there. Aussie dollar consolidating again. There is an Australian holiday today. It's really sort of bull flaggish at the moment on the 4 hourly maybe, and there's the potential for maybe another push to the upside. It's already hit the weekly pivot below. and it's above the weekly pivot. Thus it's erring more probably towards the bullish side. It has already caught today's daily pivot there. A break of that sort of level may make it bullish, and it could start running back towards yesterday's highs again. It did have a clear run through yesterday morning back towards those highs. It seems to have a bit more legs in it potentially to the upside. And the Canadian dollar, it's feeling the effects of talk of protectionism, etc., from the US, and we've lost quite a few points since yesterday. It initially sold off quite well back to its weekly pivot, but then it's moved up pretty strongly pretty much since then. It was certainly the trade we missed in the morning, down towards that weekly pivot, but bounced in the afternoon and just literally has gone. And as I say, with more protectionism talk, it's pushed up further. Making a bit of a retrace back to the 60-21s from where it is at the moment. There's a bit of divergence on the 60-minute, so it may roll over a little bit there. Let's just have a look at what oil's up to at the moment. It's possibly not helping it so much. Oh yeah, no, it's not. It's still running there. It's below that $50 barrel, so that leaves takes the pressure off of the strength, any strength that may come through from stronger oil. So this looks like it. Well, as I say, divergence at the moment, maybe a bit of a retrace, but the trend looks upward for the Canadian dollar at the moment. Okay, that's pretty much it in terms of news today. 25th of April, we've got very little coming out actually. We've got public sector borrowing in the UK at 9:30, which barely ever moves the market. May get a bit of volatility around it, but very little normally. And then for 3 p.m. this afternoon, we've got consumer confidence coming out in the US, but again, that's a pretty much non-mover along with the new home sales. Get very little volatility of that at the moment. That's it for now. Have a great day. Bye for now.